Mark McDonough, CEO of ChromaCode. Been with the company about a year. Private, really cool company based out of Carlsbad, California, venture capital backed. I spent 26 years in the industry, 25 in healthcare, one at EMC in data storage, which was also a great experience. Been fortunate enough to lead 4 different companies as CEO, 3 private, 1 public. Was able to sell one of the private companies to private equity and one of the public companies to another public company, which was great. And kind of grew up in pathology and oncology world. And over the last 15 years, I've been in molecular diagnostics and genomics, primarily focused on cancer and prenatal health. And so really happy to be with you this morning. I've got 3 awesome kids and married, and we live in Southern California, and I was a naval officer for 6 years before I jumped into industry in '97. But I've really enjoyed my experience. So I think the biggest thing is catching it as early as possible, like all of these diseases. And then really applying, we've made some great headway on targeted therapies over the past several years. So identifying the appropriate biomarkers very quickly is really key and important for non-small cell lung to help those patients. This particularly has affected my family. My mother-in-law currently is battling stage 4 lung cancer, but she's been really responding well to the immunotherapies, which is exciting. And she's hitting some milestones like her 80th birthday or 60th anniversary or reunion. So we just tell her to keep looking for the next milestone, and she's going to get there and then go from there. So that's awesome. And I lost my brother-in-law 10 years ago to lung cancer. It's a brutal disease, right? So we're making great advances, and the key is just identifying it fast and early so that we can see if there's a targeted therapy that can help the patient. That's really key. At ChromaCode, we're a platform company, so that non-small cell is our first genomic manifestation, Rob. But we do have other assays in the pipeline that we're excited about. So yeah, HDPCR is high definition PCR, and so this is a really cool platform that ChromaCode is leveraging its multiplexing technology. And our real mission here is to deliver inexpensive, fast tests to market so that patients can get treatment quicker and have the best chance for outcome. So we talk about democratizing clinical genomics or enabling local laboratories to run the kind of testing that big centralized labs do at very good margins for the laboratory, but most important, delivering high quality patient care bedside very quickly at a less expensive rate. So at ChromaCode, we really feel like where we are splitting the gap perfectly is between where next generation sequencing is used, where this technology is very good when you're looking at a large number of markers, and you're looking for particular companion diagnostics at a wide range of looking. So sequencing panels of 300, 500 genes, that's a perfect application for it. But for smaller panels where you know the specific targets, anywhere from 15 to 50 genes, sequencing can be overkill and too expensive. And where ChromaCode fits in is offering the comprehensive nature of sequencing at a fraction of the cost and significantly quicker and requiring less patient tissue. So why this is applicable in lung cancer is these samples are very, very difficult to get. The biopsies are painful, tissue is at a premium. So using significantly less tissue like ChromaCode does is a huge advantage over next generation sequencing. And then on the other end of the continuum, people have traditionally looked at different biomarkers for lung cancer on a one-by-one basis on single gene testing of a KRAS mutation, for example, or a BRAF mutation. And so ChromaCode can look at 15 biomarkers all at once, thus bridging the gap beautifully between what sequencing does and what single gene testing does. And so we're applying it now in lung cancer. We're going to really help these patients who, in a real-world scenario, are diagnosed and they run a test in-house by a technology called immunohistochemistry for a marker called PD-L1. If that is positive, they can get immunotherapy. If it's negative, they're likely not a candidate for immunotherapy. And when those patients have that test run and ChromaCode's test run, they'll have within 1 day the answers to make a pretty educated decision on what do I do from therapy. If someone like ChromaCode's not available, they'll run that PD-L1 test in-house, like I said, by immunohistochemistry, and they'll send out for next generation sequencing. Those results can take from a week to a month. And so that's a lot of angst for the patient. And patients then sometimes are put on a carboplatin therapy or a very generic therapy, which can be toxic and ineffective. So very long-winded way of saying, very cool technology. The mission is to help patients by delivering to laboratories less expensive solutions that are faster, require less tissue, but can be just as comprehensive in nature to handle the problems at hand. So we'll have a lung cancer test. We have an acute leukemia test coming to market in the future, as well as we're working on a test for transplant rejection that we're really excited about. Our goal is to help as many patients globally through our lab customer partners to get faster results so that they can get on the best treatment in the quickest amount of time. All right, so from our mission is, so when we look at the impact from a patient standpoint, it's just access and expense to get more patients great information so that they can work with their clinician to come up with the best treatment pattern as fast as possible, because time is critical. For our customers, our laboratory customers, it's to provide them, super high quality solutions that they could run in-house at a fraction of the cost, so that they can deliver, optimal patient care quickly, but also it can, make sense for the laboratory and reduce the cost. And finally, a third impact we make is to the payer system. By running our test up front, first line, and we have data to show behind this, is we can save the healthcare system up to between 20 to 35% on whatever sequencing tests they're using traditionally by running our test up front and getting the answer quicker. So we want to make an impact on the payer community, which saves the healthcare system money, which is really important. We want to make an impact for our customers by giving them solutions to run in-house that are great and competitive for their hospital systems, but also can enable them to drive revenue. And we want to help more patients get access to better information much quicker so they can get on the optimal treatment as fast as possible.